Come on.
Those fit on a foot?
Is there anything cuter than this?
That is.
Should we say?
Yes, the baby that goes in the shoes.
That is the tiniest little shoe
Oh,
I've
the
ever
Here,
seen.
you want to hit? Yeah.
I don't think the baby's that cute. It's just the clothes that are put on the baby.
You know
Well, that's a good point.
You know what Rick asked me right before that segment started? He said, "Are you having a boy or a girl?" And yet all of this was back there, and every single thing is in
I
writing.
didn't see it, actually.
This wrapping
And by the way, I
actually
knew you were having a
says
girl, so I don't even know why
Oh, you're great.
that.
Wow, this is so sweet of everybody.
I want to unravel
Baby
it.
stuff. And you have 3 girls, Griff.
I do.
Pete has a little girl. I mean, I need advice from you guys.
Listen. The only advice you need to know to pass along to your husband is that girls are the absolute greatest thing on the planet, and you are going to love it. They're so sweet. I wouldn't change a single thing about it. And so, as my daddy's girl, you know that thing's real. That thing's real, and you got
I
to
know
pass
that
that
with
along
my
to your
own dad.
husband.
I know.
Girls are very sweet. My other 3 boys were not sweet at all. My Gwen is very sweet.
'Cause they're
but
your
they
sons,
also
Pete.
she's also overturning stereotypes for me already because she has a lot of gas.
That's what you said. Pete said, but she stops at 5 years old.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
that's
because
right.
that's how it works.
Stops
Gas.
passing gas.
Yep. That's what the rule book says. I don't know where the rule book is.
We can ask
So
Abby.
good.
but we won't.
Absolutely. Now, what are you going to do before, not on the show and before the baby comes, because you don't get to plan the timing of this thing.
She's going to
I'm gonna
nest.
sleep.
She's going to hang out.
I'm going to try and sleep.
You are one of
nest.
the hardest workers I know. Like I think people don't even realize how much you do because
Well, everyone on this couch, I'm in good company.
No, but you work so many different shows, and I know in this building, like one show is focused on their show, and they're not paying attention to that the other show is also using you, and you're popping all over the place, and I bet nobody realizes how much you're doing. So to have done all that while you're pregnant through this, I think is amazing.
Thank you,
So
Rick.
I'm
She's
glad.
either going to come out very strong or
stressed or tired.
Or tired all the time. One of
Can we
the two.
sleep?
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm sure all of you picked out.
No, we have to thank Bed Bath & Beyond for all of this.
Thank you so
they
much.
provided all of this cool
Look
stuff
at these
for
shoes
us.
before we leave. If we can get a close up. Look how.
I mean,
It's going to help you with your nesting, too. This is an important
Nesting,
part
yes.
of it, yes. And your husband's going to be completely confused. I remember when we had our first daughter, literally 2 hours after it's born, my mother-in-law said, "You did paint the nursery, right?" I was like, "No, I didn't paint the nursery." She's like, "You need to go home and paint it right now." I'm like, "You are joking." So I went down and I was painting, and I literally like fainted and fell off a little stool. It wasn't a big room because I was trying to do this at the last second. So your husband's advice also,
But
pay
you did
attention
it,
to the
Rick.
nesting. Well, my wife had asked me to, and I had kind of forgotten somehow.
Typical
because
guy.
there's a lot of things happening. there.
Typical guy.
Yeah.
You know what? We love you all anyway.
She still turned out
Jeff's in
good,
for
though.
it.
We love you all anyway. Well, thank you so much, and
Thank
thank
you.
you
A lot of
guys.
fumes from the paint right there.
I really am going to miss you.
and if you're
I'm
really
serious
committed
about
to the
that.
show, I've said this, you should do a live birth on the show. Wait for the
I'm
weekend.
still considering it. I'm still considering it.
Put it in the bottom corner, and we'll just go for it.
Let's do a Facebook Live.
Totally.
What's happening?
I think it
Remember
is.
like that zebra that we were waiting
Yeah,
for?
it was
the
what's her
childbirth?
name?
No, the
Giraffe.
The
The
giraffe.
giraffe, yes.
What's her name?
It's totally when
April
we
the
need them.
giraffe.
April.
Yes, April the giraffe, live
Should I
blog
pull
her
an
birth.
April?
That would be amazing.
And just sit and wait for hours?
If you really care about the ratings of the show, you would do that. Because that thing would rate like gangbusters.
We'll all know her dedication.
And here's
Yes, we will.
Now I'm on the spot.
Here's a moment that's going to come for you very soon, and that is you will look at your baby and realize, oh my gosh, I really believe this is the most beautiful baby in the world. And you've never had that until you've looked in the eyes of your own baby. So
Have you seen Abby?
No, hardly. I hope she takes after my
The most beautiful
really gonna
baby
be.
in the world.
You guys are so sweet. Well, I love you all. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you very soon.
that's a good point.